What would you do if this happened to your favorite idol? You continue to criticize this man when he did nothing wrong and was actually a victim. And some of you are the same people that mourn idols like Junghyun, Sully, or Guhara every year. The documentary is called Killer Fingers for a reason.
I'm saying I don't wanna come down from your love. We'll get lost together like we fly. Don't ever let me come down from your love. From your love. From your love.
Hey guys, it's Bree here. If you're new here, welcome to my channel, and welcome back if you're a returning subscriber. Before we get into it, I just want to give a special thank you to one of my subscribers. You always give me great video ideas, and you actually told me what was going on with Woojin lately, so thank you so much. I also want to thank you for sending me all the info from Twitter and TikTok. You're the best, and I couldn't have put this together without you. So to all of you watching, before we get into this video, please drop a sparkly heart in the comments for my subscriber. Also, make sure to like and subscribe to support my channel, and now let's get into it. To many people, Kim Woojin's name alone triggers a visceral response. And to be honest, I really don't understand why. On June 29th, Kim Woojin was trending on Twitter, and I braced myself before checking to see why. I immediately found tons of condemning and condescending tweets, accusing the former member of Stray Kids of using as an aesthetic. I immediately feared for the worst and looked into the issue more, only to find a teaser image that said D1 with a glitched out photo of the tweet that started it all in the background. If you're not familiar with Kim Woojin or why so many K-pop fans are set on hating him, he is a K-pop idol who left Stray Kids in October of 2019 for personal reasons, according to JYPE. A year later, in September of 2020, a few Brazilian anti-fans started a malicious rumor on Twitter, accusing the singer of. Although the rumors were debunked by fans and Woojin's company 10X Entertainment shortly after, it seems most people either don't believe the evidence or simply don't care that the rumors were in fact just rumors. If you want more information on exactly how the Brazilian antis orchestrated this defamation attack, feel free to check out my previous video on the topic. So, back to why Twitter users were up in arms about Woojin recently. The users assumed that Woojin was using his allegations aesthetically to promote his solo debut after 10X Entertainment dropped a mysterious teaser photo on Twitter. However, fans of Woojin, or Cubs, quickly explained that his actual pre-debut single will drop on July 8th, so it seems like these users were literally jumping to conclusions. The next day, on June 30th, 10X Entertainment dropped a documentary titled Finger Killer, explaining Woojin's side of the story and how he was defamed. Although it was now apparent that Woojin wasn't using his allegations as an aesthetic, but was in fact teasing his documentary, many users still weren't satisfied and continued to express their hate for the soloist. In this video, I'll be summing up some of the main points made in the Killer Fingers documentary, addressing some of the arguments I've seen by Woojin's antis about the documentary, and explaining why, if you're a hater, you need to leave Woojin alone. The Finger Killer documentary is narrated by Blue Bear, who seems to be the mascot of Woojin's fandom, the Cubs. One of the main points made in the documentary that I found extremely interesting was the notorious photo of the bottles of whiskey. If you're not familiar with the allegations that were made against Woojin in September of 2019, the anonymous original poster on Twitter claimed to have proof that Woojin was at the bar where he allegedly her. She claimed that he was wearing the gray sweatshirt in a picture that he posted on Instagram on April 29th, 2020, and that same sweatshirt could be seen in a photo with a few bottles of whiskey and shot glasses. However, after some investigation, 10X Entertainment was able to find the original unedited photo from a user on Instagram. On top of that, 10X was able to get CCTV footage from the exact establishment at an angle showing the exact table where the whiskeys were, showing that Woojin was not even there. So basically, the OP stole a photo from someone's Instagram, edited it, and used it to support her false accusations. Another point from the documentary that I want to mention is the way Woojin's initial statement about the accusation was mistranslated. Many fans criticized Woojin for the tone or words choosing in his statement when he responded to the allegations. However, in the documentary, Blue Bear explains how the statement was totally mistranslated, and Woojin was only trying to explain that the accusations were absurd because they weren't true, that his fans shouldn't worry because 10X will take legal action, and that he wanted to catch up with them, explaining the activities he was currently preparing for.
The title, Apology Statement, wasn't even there in the first place. He was flabbergasted and was explaining himself. Something absurd happened to me today. This word, 황당한, is the crucial point. Google translates this to simply weird. This is so very wrong. Now preparing for my solo activities. Everyone went crazy here. I don't care whatever you say, I don't know, so shut up and wait for my... Something absurd happened. To catch up, none of the accusations were true, and he wanted to console the worried fans by telling them the good news of his signing.
So, as you can see, the accusations that many people made, saying that he brushed off the allegations or didn't take them seriously, was simply false and a mistranslation. Although 10X repeatedly attempted to prove Woojin's innocence, the documentary explains that it was Cubs who started an investigation and ultimately found the identities of the anonymous users who made the false allegations. The accusers were referred to in the documentary as TV, the original poster who made the initial accusation, and R, the person who claimed to know the original poster and retweeted her accusation to her profile of 6,000 followers, which eventually spread like wildfire on Twitter and on the rest of the internet. The funny thing is, when confronted, R claimed to have no idea who Woojin was, although on her account she was tweeting angrily about Woojin leaving Stray Kids in 2019. In a video I made about this in January of this year, I discussed how the OP, R, was tweeting angrily about how because of Woojin leaving, Stray Kids would have to re-record for their comeback, etc., and it seems like the malicious rumors were started in order to get revenge and sabotage his solo career. Both users are being sued by 10X Entertainment for spreading the malicious rumors, and 10X has said time and time again that they will continue to legally go after anyone who spreads malicious rumors against their artist. So in short, I thought the documentary did a great job of explaining what happened and how Woojin's career was almost destroyed, but after checking Twitter, it seems like many people felt differently. One point that I saw regurgitated on Twitter time and time again was, how could Woojin use or allegations as an aesthetic for his teaser, even if it was for a documentary and not a music video? My initial response was, really y'all? He glitched out a picture of the tweet that started it all. I'm sorry, but I don't see anything wrong with that, especially since the allegations weren't even true and no one was victimized except Woojin. Now, if Woojin had some crazy image depicting someone being taken advantage of, I would definitely see the issue, but it seems like you all that have an issue with this simply want to find a reason to hate Woojin and undermine the documentary. The next thing I want to discuss is the argument that the tone of the documentary was inappropriate and unprofessional. People seemed to have an issue with the lightheartedness of the narrator and the memes used throughout the footage, claiming that is a serious topic and shouldn't be joked about. To that I'll say, you guys do realize Woojin is the victim here, right? This isn't a case of the narrator making light of someone being a... They're telling Woojin's side of the story and how his career was sabotaged. It's his story, and if he wants to make things lighthearted, if he wants to laugh instead of crying, especially considering everything that he's been through, then so be it. And as far as the issue with the memes, some of you laughed at all of the woojail memes before the allegations were debunked and assumed to be true, and there's even a Save Me Woojin video on YouTube that has over 1 million views. Isn't to be joked about, right? But you were all fine with laughing about that. On top of that, I think it's pretty clear that 10X has proved that they've been taking this issue seriously. They've said time and time again that they will go after malicious commenters legally, and they are filing lawsuits. So what else do you want them to do? I totally understand the seriousness of allegations and how some victims are afraid to speak up, scared that maybe their voices won't be heard and they won't be believed. But in my opinion, I don't think that situation is applicable. In this case, there were no victims. Now, if there were actual victims, I totally agree that the tone of this documentary would be very insensitive and inappropriate. But that's just my opinion. What do you guys think? Let me know. I also saw many people tweeting things like, Woojin isn't taking this seriously, he wasn't even in the video, why hasn't he talked about this in a serious video, etc. If you just do a simple Google search on the situation, you can find tons of articles on interviews that Woojin has done with several different media outlets. There are plenty of articles addressing the situation in a serious manner, and he even has a recent interview with YouTuber liry onni. I really encourage you guys to check that out. I'm pretty sure the guy who was falsely accused had his Instagram account falsely reported by antis and temporarily taken down, was cyber, sent death threats, and even had his phone number leaked, takes this issue very seriously. If you want to see him address this personally in a more serious setting, all you have to do is look. I'm starting to think that some of you just want to see this guy miserable and crying on camera just to make yourselves feel better. Another deflection I saw was, even if the allegations were false, he's still a bad person. He left Stray Kids so suddenly for a reason, and he the members. There have been instances in the past where JYPE artists have left for or violating the rules of JYPE, and when they do, JYPE says that in their statements. In this case, JYPE said Woojin left for personal reasons, and that's it. I've also seen compilation videos claiming that Woojin the other members. But to be honest, anyone can cut and edit videos to make something look a certain way. And if you already have a certain perception of someone in your mind, you're more prone to interpret things a certain way. For every compilation video of Woojin Stray Kids, someone could edit a video of them getting along. And the trend of these videos only started after the allegations occurred. I also want to mention, as far as the lighthearted or mocking tone, I think a lot of people are failing to notice. I think the documentary was supposed to come off that way. It's a documentary explaining what happened, but it's also meant to target or kind of diss the haters that started all of this in the first place. I think that's pretty clear, and I think that's why there was a use of some strong or offensive language, some memes, some jokes, etc. That was what they were going for. I think the most disgusting thing about this entire situation is most people don't even care that Woojin's innocence was proven. Instead, they tend to focus on and nitpick little things like the tone of the documentary or how they think 10x or Woojin should have handled the statements, etc. I've seen some of them even tell Cubs to block and unfollow them for simply supporting an artist who was falsely accused. And to those of you that feel that way, don't you have any empathy at all? Shouldn't you be condemning the individuals who started the malicious rumors and helping to spread the word that the allegations were false? What would you do if this happened to your favorite idol? You continue to criticize this man when he did nothing wrong and was actually a victim. And some of you are the same people that mourn idols like Junghyun, Sully, or Guhara every year. The documentary is called Killer Fingers for a reason, and some of you should really be ashamed of yourselves. To close, I really don't understand why people continue to pointlessly hate on Woojin when it's clear that he didn't hurt anyone. The most disturbing part to me is a lot of the people I see on Twitter talking negatively about Woojin are stays. I'm sure Stray Kids are saddened by Woojin going through all of this, and they probably can't say anything about it due to their contract. They're probably not allowed to mention Woojin at all. And to those of you saying that Bang Chan was talking about Woojin in that one V-Live, well, according to him, he wasn't.
Just make sure to be careful because it can really, affect yourself and people around you. Like I know a person who had, who had to face the worst consequence by making a lot of mistakes, and it was because of those mistakes that really, affected the people around him. If you make a promise with, with the team or the people around you, you need to be responsible and really keep those promises. Not person, but it actually isn't. So don't want you guys to go hating on that person. So don't hate on him. because 그런 게 아니니까 그 어떻게 해석하냐에 그 달라요.
맞아요.
It depends on how you interpret it. So it could
약간
be,
열린 결말 느낌.
맞아요. 그 사람이 뭐 친구일 수도 있고,
맞아요.
아니면 뭐 사랑하는 사람일 수도 있고, 아니면 어떻게 보면 또 가족일 수도 있고, 약간 그런
대상을 정해놓지 않았어요.
맞아요. 대상이 정해져 않아서 어떻게 보면 또 꿈이라는 사람, 그렇지? 꿈이라는 너라는 그런 것도 있어서 어떻게 it depends how you want to decipher it. But yeah.
박꿈씨.
꿈이라는
사람이니까 박꿈.
네. 그런 거니까 I hope that clears things up, because don't want you guys to spread negative energy around. Okay. Stays, you guys are better than that. Okay.
If you don't want to support, or if you don't like Woojin, or if the allegations still don't sit right with you, that's totally fine, you're entitled to that. But why continue to send hate and ostracize him and the people who support him? I'm not even a cub, but it's disgusting to see the mob mentality where people jump on the bandwagon and think it's edgy or cool to hate on Woojin without knowing any of the facts. Where are your morals? The documentary is called Killer Fingers for a reason. Think before you type. Be careful of what you say online. You could ruin someone's life.
더 이상 이런 루머들로 피해를 받는 분들이 생기지 않았으면 좋겠다, 이 말을 하고 싶습니다.
you